What is up YouTube, it's etzico here, and today I'm going to do a review on the PlayStation Vita. So this PlayStation Vita is coming out tomorrow, but I got it a week early. So if you want to see an unboxing video of me unboxing the PlayStation Vita, there will be a link down below. But here I'm going to show you a review. I'm going to show you all the specs from CPU, GPU, camera, sound, and sensors. So, and everything inside, and I'm going to show you all the games and all the apps that work with it. So here we get started. So for you to activate it, since it's already on, it's on sleep mode right now. So you press either you press the home button or this power button. So I'm gonna press the power button and just wait for it. So here is the unlock screen. All you have to do is put your finger here and just slide it up. Yeah, either way it works fine like this. It's really responsive. And here is the menu. So it's not using a cross media bar like the PSP and the PlayStation 3. It is using a kind of a its own new menu system, which is basically just touch only. No, you cannot use your buttons for this. So just slide up or down, doesn't matter. And it's very responsive, I would say that. So here you see all the games from Uncharted Golden Abyss, Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, and Little Deviants. These are saves except for Uncharted, which I have it running in the background right now. So let me show you the first feature, which would be let's start with actually let's start with the game itself, since it is a handheld. So here is the game Uncharted Golden Abyss. See, it says the network features have been disabled. So Uncharted Golden Abyss, the menu works with the fingers. So let me just put new game, normal. Let's start. So let's see. Start this one. This is the other one. I haven't. Let me just put it in this one. This is garbage. And it's starting up. So here has the speakers. The speakers are really well. They are pretty loud too. Let me see if, yeah, this is how loud it gets. And it's very responsive, I would say myself. See here, the colors are very, very bright and very, very good. Very detailed game.
I got a report that shots were fired by the river.
It was nothing.
I'm telling you, it was Drake. You tell your men to up their game, or there's gonna be a lot less of them around come payday.
Son of a bitch. I'll see you in hell.
Since I have a crappy camera, you can't see much, or it's pretty much a little lag there, here or there on the video. As you can see here, it works perfectly well, or maybe by the camera you can't see much. I have a faulty camera, my bad guys. But this is a really, the analog sticks are really responsive. So I would say so myself with by aiming or either by walking. You can still climb up to ledges. It shows you the tutorial. Or you can use your finger to tell you where you can go. But I'm not gonna get into that. I can just, go back to my menu or come back anytime I want. Pretty fast. So let me show you now. This is something that everybody wants to have, like remote play. You may have heard of it. So this is a remote play. It's basically your PS Vita connecting to your PS3 and using your PS3 on your PS Vita on the go, whether you can find any Wi-Fi spot. So let's just start this on. So there is either a connection from connect to via internet or connect via private network. So I'm gonna go with private network since it's really close by. And it's connecting right now. See, here is my PlayStation 3 running in the background. Here are my friends on the background here playing or just being offline right now. But yeah, you can see right here, here's the PlayStation 3 menu. Everybody is online. Well, nobody's online actually. There's only 4 players online. Here is, Deus Ex Human Revolution, which I like this game a lot. But I can't play it actually, since it says this content cannot be used during remote play. Either they have to patch that, or it's just like maybe because it's not even out. The majority of the PS Vitas are not out yet, since this is the early edition. So, or the first edition. Here I have a demo of Mass Effect 3. You can't play that, I'm pretty sure. Here is Syndicate. I know I can't play this. No, nor Starhawk or Infinite, anything. I cannot play any game at all. Except for PS1 games. I can play video. Here is the tester, episode 2.
I have to improvise, I have to adapt, and just shoot the hell out of that yellow truck.
So just press back. It works pretty fine. You actually press this touchscreen to go to the settings, or the home screen, the home button right here when you're playing a game. Here is the settings. You can go to image quality, which is either +1, normal, or -1. Either if you're on the Wi-Fi, this will work a lot. So just in case, see, so it got a little crappier right here. Maybe you can't see it, but I can see myself. It got a little crappier. Just in case you have bad Wi-Fi, you have slow Wi-Fi, this will work fine. So let's go to +1 again. Okay. So let's go to settings. You can go to change connected, the sign buttons. Either you use type 1, which is just mapping the buttons. Here is type 2, where you can use the L2 and R2, and L3 and R3 for pressing select and just pressing that instead. And or you can use the one that I prefer, which is this, which is basically using the touch, the back panel, the touch pad in the back. So you can use the L2 and R2 and L3 and R3. You see, I'm touching it right now. It is saying that I'm touching it right here. Here's where you touch in. Here is where you touch for the R3 and R3. So I'd rather have that, which is basically simpler. But as I said, guys, it's not working right now. No games are working for this right now. So, but it's not. It just came out, so I guess that's fine. But you can only play a PlayStation 1 game, which is like Crash Bandicoot, which I have it for the PS3. The only PlayStation 1 game I own. You can see it's loading right now. You press this and press that. And see, oh, that's saying that I have less than 500 megabytes free of space. Here's PlayStation 1 logo, but you get the point. You can actually run that in the background too. I can run the game at the same time on the background. Or if I want to go to my PlayStation 3, I can go back to here, right here. The remote play connection was terminated. Oh yeah, that's right. It gets terminated every single time. But you get the idea. It can run multiple files. You can run maps, videos, remote play, settings. Here's the settings, which is kind of stupid, where you have to just press the settings button just to go to the settings page, just to press the settings, just to go to settings, which is basically ridiculous, but it's still fine. Here's system updates, network and stuff. You can see I'm connected to AT&T 3G. I'm not actually connected still. I haven't made the contract, not the contract, but I haven't paid $30 for it yet. So I haven't tried out the 3G yet. So I'm gonna tell you the specs right now. The CPU is a ARM Cortex A9 core with 4 cores on it. The GPU is a 5GX543 MP4. The external dimensions is a APROX 182.0 and times 18.6 times 83.5 millimeters. The screen, the touch screen, it is a 5-inch 16.9 962 544 APROX 16 million colors OLED multi-touch screen, which is very impressive. I would say so myself. It is, by just seeing it right now, it is very impressive and very responsive. The rear touchpad is a multi-touchpad, of course, multi-finger touchpad. They have 2 front and back camera right here. You can see here, right here. It has a built-in stereo speakers and built-in microphone. It has a 6-axis motion sensing system, 3-axis gyroscope, 3-axis accelerometer, 3-axis electronic compass on it. A location. It has a built-in GPS and Wi-Fi location service support. It has a PlayStation button, of course, the power or PlayStation button right here, the power button, the directional buttons up, down, left, right. It has the action button, which is triangle, circle, cross, and square. Shoulder buttons, right and left. The right stick and the left stick. The start button and the select button and the volume button, which is up here. And the wireless communications are mobile network communication 3G and IEEE 802.1 BGN, which I don't know what that means actually. I'm watching it through a web page, and a Bluetooth 2.1 EDR, so it's very high tech. Those are the specs for the actual system, the insides. Now you can actually here are, let's see, let's go to near, which is basically like kind of like the response to Nintendo 3DS Street Pass, where you can find friends on about in your area. No, actually, wrong place. Obtaining data from my location. No, actually, I don't want to do that right now. But you get the point. Here's a group messaging where you can actually talk with your friends. You can actually open multiple pages and use it at the same time. Yeah, maps too. You have music. Go to music right now. Here's artists, albums, songs. I got a lot of Lady Gaga here. Here is So Blind by System of a Down, which is one of my favorite bands. So I like that band a lot. Let me close it down. Oh, let me close it down. Here we have a where else? Here's the network connections where you have to use that if you want to use the AT&T, which I'm not going to use it right now because I don't want to go to it. Here's a browser, which is kind of like the same thing as the PS3, I would say myself. The welcome pack, which is basically a kind of like a mini game kind of app where you can play with your all the features with the PS Vita, the touchscreen, the back screen, the buttons, and everything. Here's the PlayStation Store, which right now doesn't have much on it, but it's has a few PSN games right now on it, and like a lot of PS Vita retail games to download. It's downloading right now. So here is the PlayStation Vita store. Just downloading, here it is. And the minis, the PSP games, the PS Vita games, and the apps and media by gender and everything. They show you some games up here and everything. You can see your download list, the games you downloaded in the past, which is right here, Mass Effect 3, Assistant Retribution Demo, which, by the way, these are PSP games. I could not actually transfer them to the PS Vita either by PS3 or PSN by PS Vita, which is weird. But they are demos and not actually the games, so I cannot assure you that it will work. But I'm not saying it won't work at the same time, since I don't have any PSP games on it. But I don't want to waste any money just to take a risk. Oh, I didn't show you this, but I can't actually even show it to you yet. There's a party chat right here. You can actually party chat now while you're running a game too. You can run multiple apps while you're running a game. You can see here the game right here. It's running in the background, which is pretty cool. You go right here, you can actually touch this. So either way, that's Uncharted Golden Abyss. I have it here, the box for Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is pretty small. Again, this is our the box. This is really small box, actually really thin. You can lose them really quickly. So yeah, guys, this is the review for the PS Vita. Oh yeah, I haven't actually talked about how I was gonna end it right here, but the buttons are kind of responsive. Well, they're really responsive actually. Never mind. when it comes to the games with the PS Vita games, actually is really responsive. When it comes to remote play on your PlayStation 3, it's really responsive. The C-axis and the gyroscope is really responsive. I would say myself, but the equipment for the PS Vita is very expensive. The games are the most expensive game is the Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is like $50. This is Multiple Marvel's Capcom 3, which is $40. And here I have a little Deviants, which came with the PS Vita, which cost $30 on retail, but I didn't have to pay anything for this. So that's kind of expensive right there. The memory cards are extremely expensive. I'm talking 20 gigabytes for $20, and I'm not 20 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes for $20, and 32 gigabytes for $100, which is basically way too much of a rip-off, I would say myself. Here are the cases, which I thought were exclusive, but they're actually not. You can actually pick them up online for about like 10 or $20, I believe. This came with the PS Vita. Here are the games, which I have not shown you the games yet. Here are the PS Vita games. These are actually the games. These are little flashcards, which you can actually put by PS Vita up here on your PS Vita. Oh, on your PS Vita here, I have Uncharted Golden Abyss. But you can actually just push it out and just put this in, which is very you can lose them very easily. But at least they're smaller than the UMDs of the PSP, of course. Memory cards go down here, right here. I'm not gonna eject it because I'm just not going to, but you get the idea. Here we have the SIM for the 3G of AT&T, of course. The buttons for the PS Vita, are responsive. Cancel. The buttons are really responsive, even though these feel like PSP buttons. Right here on top, they feel fine. These are very perfect buttons. They press really well, and they respond real quickly. Touchpad 2 responds real quickly, and touchscreen responds really quickly as well. Here is a notification area where it tells you what has happened. You have received the message, your friend requests, and that'll be about it. So you can actually have multiple pages, like hold this and okay. You can move this over here, or you can actually just make a new page. Just have to add this button, the plus, and just take this, disappear. Just put them up here. I'm just gonna close this down, but I'm just gonna get the idea. So yeah, this is my review of the PS Vita. Myself personally, I kind of like it a lot. I do. I spend a lot of time on it now. I'm still playing the PS3 a lot though, but when I'm on the bus or in the car or at my friend's house, I actually play this a lot. And I would recommend you actually get it, since it is a very, very high-tech system. It is responsive. The battery life is about 5 hours, so I recommend you picking this up. If you're a PlayStation fan, if you like PlayStation, if you're like handheld gaming for that matter, since this is the closest thing you get to a portable console on your hands and on your pockets. So thanks for watching, you guys. You can comment, like, and subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. It helps me out, and it's it's a good feature you can do for me. You can like this video, of course. I said again. You can leave a comment, which I actually respond to a lot. So if you leave a comment, you have a question, I will actually respond to you on the comment section below. So thanks for watching. Again, please comment, like, and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. I will see you guys later, and goodbye.